Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming our endorsed Supreme Court candidate, Judge Joan Orie Melvin.
Thank you, Joyce, and thank you, General Corbett. I am honored to have received your endorsement. General Corbett is the chief law enforcement agent in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. He represents every citizen. He takes their fight to court and fights for them. And he's an actual proven reformer. We've seen this General Corbett fight corruption. So it is an honor to have received your endorsement, General Corbett. Let me tell you that this Supreme Court seat is a critical race. It is a very important race. I'm proud to have received General Corbett's endorsement. I've also received the state FOP, the state police, the state troopers, the Pennsylvania firefighters. I've also received Allegheny County's FOP police, the city of Pittsburgh FOP police. So I am honored. I've also received the endorsement of the Pennsylvania Chamber of Commerce as well as Pennsylvania for Effective Government. These widespread coalition support is based on my record. I've been a judge for over 23 years. I have the unique experience of serving at all levels of the judiciary. I started my judicial career in the city of Pittsburgh municipal courts. Heavily Democratic city of Pittsburgh, I was the first female and the first Republican in the history of Pittsburgh to serve as the chief magistrate judge there. In that capacity, I was very innovative. I created the first domestic violence court in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, long before the public's awareness was heightened as to the criminal nature of domestic violence. I had the vision. I saw it as a problem. I created a specialized court which addressed the problem from both sides, from the victims so that they could receive counseling, as well as the defendants so they could receive counseling to deal with stressful situations in a constructive manner as opposed to in a violent manner. This court had the lowest recidivism rate, and it serves as a national and an international model. 12 years after I created this court, the nation of Ireland came in and used the Pittsburgh Domestic Violence Court as a prototype. I was also innovative with alternative sentencing. We had juvenile offenders in the city of Pittsburgh who were convicted of nonviolent crimes. They didn't belong in jail, and if you find them, it was their parents paying for their fines. But the way I was raised, we were always accountable for our acts. That's what our parents said, even as kids. So I made those kids go into the city parks, clean them up, go into emergency rooms, go into soup kitchens. Every kid who was sentenced to that court successfully completed their community service. So you can see that I've been innovative at the judicial level. And then in 1990, I was appointed to the Court of Common Pleas of Allegheny County, and I had to run to keep that office in 1991. The problem was, back then, Allegheny County was 3.5 to 1 in favor of the Democrats. So I went into every nook and cranny of Allegheny County. I won on both tickets, on both the Democrat and the Republican tickets. First female Republican elected to Allegheny County Common Pleas bench, and quite frankly, I was the only Republican on that bench out of 43 judges. And during that term that I served there almost 8 years, I was sent to the criminal division, where I presided over death penalty cases, every major felony. I served in the family division, and I served in the civil division, where I presided over complex civil litigation. So I have a track record. I have a proven track record with regard to presiding at the trial court level. 1997, I ran for the Superior Court of Pennsylvania. I led the statewide ticket. First female Republican elected to the Superior Court. I then led the statewide retention ticket in 2007. I have served on the Superior Court for over 11 years. It is the busiest, hardworking court, appellate court in the nation. In those 11 years, I have participated in over 8,000 decisions. So I've been tested. I am the candidate with the actual proven track record. I have that, and that's what I'm running on. One other thing, as I talked about General Corbett being a reformer, integrity is very important at all levels of the judiciary. A couple of years ago, I was a finalist for the Third Circuit Court of Appeals, right below the United States Supreme Court. As a result of going through that process, the FBI went through my entire life, from birth to present. My social life, my legal experience, my judicial experience. And they said I have the integrity to serve at that level. I will take that integrity with me to the Supreme Court, I will also advocate for more transparency and more accountability in the courts. Transparency, it is the least understood branch of government. We need to educate the public on how important the Supreme Court and all the courts are in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. As to accountability, judges, when they make decisions, they must be accountable to the Constitution and to the rule of law. When judges operate the court, and the Supreme Court is in charge of the operations of all the courts in this Commonwealth, the judges are accountable then to the people. I will take that fight. I would like to restore the public's confidence in the courts. As we've all seen in the media recently, there have been some bad instances of judicial abuse of power and judicial corruption, most notably in Luzerne County. That's where the children of Luzerne County, children in this Commonwealth, were violated by the judiciary. They did not have their due process rights, and we had corrupt judges sentencing them to detention centers where they had a financial stake, and they were making money off of children who were sent to these detention centers. So the Supreme Court has the duty to go into the communities and work. I will do that. I will roll up my sleeves. I will get into those communities, because if you don't have the public's confidence or the public's trust in the judiciary, they cannot operate. So with that said, that's why I'm running. I'm running on my record. I'm running on reform. I am running on accountability. And that's what I would take with me to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. Again, I thank Joyce for her kind words, for State Committee, for the support, and for General Corbett. It is the highest honor to have received his endorsement here today. Thank you so much.